Howdy Collegian readers, Spencer Chase and Marcus Traxler coming to you after an SDSU victory over North Dakota State, 69-53. And Marcus, we saw just a drastic difference between the first half and the second half for both teams, really.
We did. It was kind of surprising to see just how much things changed for the second half. And you know, the Jacks were pretty thoroughly outplayed in the first half. Rebounding wise, I mean, I feel like that's kind of the key to how the Jacks play. And they did not rebound well. And then you know, a couple Mike Felt hitting 3 threes, you know, a couple threes from Traylon Wright. And you know, the Jacks, as Coach Nagy mentioned, fortunate to be within 6 points at halftime. And then the second half came. You open up with a 20-3 run out of the break and never look back. I mean, Walters gets in a groove. They're able to hit some open shots. And I mean, it feels like even at home, if you leave this much room, the Jacks are going to take it and they're going to open it wide open. I mean, we saw it on a smaller scale 2 weeks ago against Fort Wayne, and it happened almost the exact same way here.
Yeah, and you look at the Bison; they were just throwing all sorts of threes up and hitting them in that first half.
Right.
They go 5 for 9 in the first half, and the game 8 for 21.
Yeah,
I mean, huge disparity.
Part of that is, I mean, you get out of sorts a little bit, you know, as Saul Phillips mentioned.
Definitely trying to get back in the game, and you're going to need the long ball to make that happen.
They missed a few short ones, and then you try a few long threes just to get something to go, and it didn't happen. So it was sort of a different element. They admittedly on their part didn't do well. Marshall Gray went out to 3 shot attempts, and he's a guy who makes 7% of what he takes. So I think that's probably the one thing that might change if they had to do over.
Yeah, Bjorklund held to 1 for 3 on the game, and definitely a really physical battle down low. I felt like both sides were really going hard.
Yeah, I think that's a real calling card of the Summit League. Mm-hmm. You know, Oakland, that was a physical battle. IPFW, you can count on that being. Didn't see the Western Illinois game, but I imagine the Western Illinois game was like that when you only have 104 total points or whatever there was. So. That's sort of the way this league seems to be, and you know, when you've got big, well-built Midwest guys, I guess that's what it's going to be.
And certainly SDSU having some depth there with Dykstra, Fegan, and Eamstra. I mean, maybe not as thick as some of their competition, but definitely have some of the depth there. Also, Nate Walters, kind of another day at the office, 26, 7 boards, 4 assists, just kind of.
The hysterical laughing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hilarious stat line if you guys can hear the background, but. Walters right now 16 assists away from the career SDSU assist record, and it was another game you kind of hardly notice him until that big second half run.
Rewriting the record books. That's not news to anybody, but yeah, again, everything about him is really smooth. 26 points, smooth way in 26 points. He had 7 rebounds, tied for the team high. That's pretty smooth too.
Yeah.
I mean, you hardly notice him. In between the cracks, except when he has the ball. But he's doing all these things, and it's part of what makes the Jacks so difficult at home, 26 in a row.
Mm-hmm. And certainly seeing him to where he's taking over games. Right. He's deciding his team is going to win, and he's doing what it takes to make sure that happens. Just to kind of finish up, another stat I always like to point out, probably an incredibly useless stat, but I think it's interesting. 0 bench points from the Jacks again.
Well, I mean that's one of the mantras for the Jacks right now. You look at they had 3 guys off the bench play: Biddle, Horseman, Eamstra. Eamstra is probably the one guy who contributed the most out of those 3. That's just sort of the way it seems to be. And Horseman played 1 minute. That was at the end. So, and
also note, it's been a couple games before we saw a lot out of Tavon Prince.
Right.
So I don't know if he's just out of sync or if there's something off the court going on there.
Juggle the lineup. I mean, you're going to have to find your rotation. Then you also have to consider what does Tavon Prince give you against NDSU. I think you need maybe your taller, longer guards, and Tavon Prince doesn't fit that well. Quite advising.
Yep.
USD on Thursday. Maybe some thoughts on that before we say goodbye.
Well, SDSU has been a completely different basketball team since they lost to USD.
Haven't lost 5 straight wins.
I really don't see them losing this game, to be honest with you, because they are just determined. They are destined. It just seems like they're really firing on all cylinders. And quite honestly, I don't see USD coming into Frost Arena and being able to pull off the victory that they pulled off in the Dome.
It'd be very interesting to see USD, playing for the tournament the first time, so they have more to play for than they last year, and they got whomped 86-56. So I think this will be a very interesting ball game. But yeah, I'd be surprised if the Jacks don't win.
And as we sit right now, Western Illinois is set to take on Oakland this afternoon. So at the end of the day, we could have a three-way tie for first place in the Summit League.
And that would be fitting, considering halfway through the Summit League schedule, or this is the start of the second half today. The Jacks probably have the one loss out of the potentially 6 losses of those 3 teams that you probably said, well, it makes you scratch your head. I think Western Illinois losing to Oakland would have surprised anybody, given how good Oakland is, and the fact that the Jacks just are out of sorts when they go to run.
Last time SDSU lost in Frost Arena was 2 years ago tomorrow.
Yep.
Haven't done it since.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah. SDSU winning 69-53 over North Dakota State. For Marcus Traxler, I'm Spencer Chase. Thanks for watching.